Howdy and hello, my name is OhDough. Hope you're doing good. We have some axe builds for fun. There's no predator. They're simply comfy builds that do a decent amount of damage and are fun to play. I'll probably have some more strong builds in a different video. To get started, we have the legendary Cronivore axe. It's a radiant axe basically. Etheric evasion, pulse. The special and modifier for every single build here is going to be the same because they're just the best specials and mods. So Grim Onslaught, that's the special we're using, and the modifier is going to be overcharged cylinder. The bond for the Cronivore weapon I'm using is going to be res security. So +3 cunning and 12% chance for attacks to hit twice. It's a good bond. Valmer isn't bad, but +3 Eighth Hunter is not very viable. Cunning is pretty good on the axe. Now, the Omnicell I'm using in this build is Tempest. You could use whatever you want to, Iceborne for instance, but Tempest is kind of neat in this build, and I will be having Parasitic for more survivability. I'm using Koshai for fun. You can use whatever you want to. Lantern does not matter that much for most builds. Bolton, which is now a freaking utility cell. That's goated. Actually awesome. Headpiece, Skullforge. Kind of nice. We get Parasitic. You can survive more. You get Lifesteal. Great. It's like the best defense cell IMO. And you get Molten and you get Stamina. This game has terrible stamina, but boom, you have a way to make it so you're not freaking running on empty all the time. Chest piece is Thrax with Pulse. Gloves are Torgadora, the Explorer, with Overpower. And the feet are going to be Stormclaw with a Thathan's Frenzy. I'm gonna cover the cells here, and if these cells pop up again, just know that I won't cover them again to try and not be so annoying in this video. So Etheric Evasion, on dodging to attack, your Lantern cooldown is reduced by 35%. Cunning, more crit chance and critical strike damage. Molten, more attack speed, move speed, and fire immunity. Overpower, more damage versus stagger behemoths, whether it's part break, interrupts, stagger, and shock proc. Those are like the 4 ways you can trick Overpower. Pulse is guaranteed crit on a certain hit. In this case, the 5th hit at +6. Assassin's Frenzy is more attack speed for breaking apart. And Parasitic, you get damage reduction, and when you get hit, you get lifesteal. Moving forward, we have the legendary Malcarian axe. Overpower sturdy. It's gonna be a fun build because of that. Same special, same mod, and we're using the Drask bond. You could use Thunder Deep Drask if you want to. It depends on how often you're dodging. In this build, the goal is to not dodge that much. That's why we have sturdy. So I'm using Drask instead. And we're gonna have Iceborne to just be as tanky as possible. Pretty good stuff there. And then we have Drask Lantern with Molten. We're using the Shroud Helmet with Rage because just in case you do die, you get more damage. Agaris chest piece with Molten. And then we have Phalanx with Omni Surge. I only have +1 Omni Surge. If you have +3, obviously use that, it's better, but if not, +1 will do something. It'll help a little bit. And we have Pangar with Sturdy. Rage, getting hit gives you more damage. Sturdy, every 5 seconds the next hit will not stagger you, basically knock you over or whatever. You can just keep casting through it. It's kind of fun on the axe because you have Sturdy, which gives you, makes you unstaggerable. You have Resolve, makes you unstaggerable. You have your axe Grim Onslaught, makes you unstaggerable, and you have Iceborne active. I'm just saying, it's kind of fun. Omni Surge is a pretty fun cell. Reduce the cooldown of your Omni Cell ability by 20%. In this case, a minute cooldown for Iceborne. Reducing that by 20% is a pretty hefty reduction and kind of nice. Using your Omnicell ability reduces the cooldown of your Lantern tap by 40%. Also pretty cool. Etheric Attunement to make your Lantern even faster to recharge. Then we have a legendary Agaris axe. Etheric Evasion, Galvanize. Galvanize is going to be good for the shields. And we're using the Skarn's Judgment with the Bastion Omnicell. Quick tidbit. They should really make it so either Bastion has no cap for how many shields you can stack with the passive, because it's basically what Skarn was, and it shouldn't have a cap. It just shouldn't. You should let the players have fun in your video game and do crazy stuff. We're using the Skarn Lantern to give us even more shields to make our Bastion slams do more damage. With Zeal, freaking Immermain Helmet, that's crazy. With Assassin's Frenzy, because they changed how those cells are categorized. And then we have Time Weave with Overpower, Phalanx Gloves with Omni Surge, and we have Thunderdeep Drask with Galvanized. So Galvanized makes it so having shields gives you crit chance, and you get 15% critical strike damage if you're at +6. I think this outweighs Cunning if you have a pretty decent shield build, if you're working with shields for the most part. Lastly, we have the legendary Erska axe, Frost axe, I guess. We got Pulse, Omni Surge. I'm so sad seeing a freaking green cell in my builds. Pangar's bond. Earlier I had Boreas. Pangar's just better. I messed up on that case. Discipline. You could use Tempest, Iceborne. Doesn't matter too much, but Discipline is a lot better if you're going for damage in this case. If you don't like it, don't use it. We got Drask Lantern for more damage. We got Catalyst, pop potions basically. Phalanx Helmet with Assassin's Frenzy. Thrax chest piece with Cunning. And then we got Time Weave with Pulse and Time Weave with Overpower. So Catalyst, pop tonics. If you don't pop tonics, change your feet. Change these to Charog from Tenacious. It's extra damage. It's kind of a neat little cell, and you're chilling in that regard. Now, if you want to have lifesteal in this build without using Iceborne, just use Parasitic. Change out +1 Omni Surge for Parasitic, or Pulse +3 Pulse for Parasitic. It doesn't matter which one you change. It's up to you in that regard. Now, if you are wondering where's the Hellion axe or where's the Torgadora axe, you can change pretty much every single one of these builds very easily if you really want to. So let's say you want to change this build and have Torgadaro, whatever it is. So we had Pulse. Am I blind? We had Pulse and we had Omni Surge, right? I'd scroll all the way down. I'm so sad. It's just It's heart-wrenching to do that. In this case, we're going to use the Hellion Bond. So we have +1 overpower. Find out where overpower is and change that to tenacious. Tenacious is a pretty good replacement if you need another power cell for damage. And then boom, the build's still good. And do that for basically every single one of these builds. Whatever the weapon is you're slapping. Whatever weapon you're slapping into the build, whatever cell it comes with, just change out that same cell in the build that's overlapping. So if you have +9, change the other instance of the cell to whatever else you want to have. That's all you have to do for any of these builds. They're all universal in that kind of sense. Because if you have a legendary weapon, you got Omni cells, which are great. Hopefully that makes sense. But that is the build video. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.